Hi there. Here's one more look at a delicious street food from South Africa, namely bunny chow. I wanted to make this one as authentic as possible, and I was able to find the right bread and the right spices for it this time. For those of you who might be wondering what bunny chow is, no, there are no bunnies in this dish. I've made this dish before with chicken several times, but this time we're making it with lamb in the same manner that's served in the Durban area of South Africa. Most recipes I've seen for bunny chow don't include garbanzo beans, but I found they go really well with this dish, and so we're keeping the garbanzo beans. And for anyone in South Africa who may be watching this, I might suggest you try this with chickpeas because they're not expensive and they really help to thicken the stew and give it some additional flavor. I hope you like it. I've made a simple version of bunny chow with chicken and basic spices, and it was wonderful. But this time we're trying to be as authentic as possible, including the spices used in this dish. Masala is a word used in India to describe a mixture of spices, and the most well-known of these is garam masala. But bunny chow is so popular that the spice mixture used to prepare it is named after the area where it came from, and so we have Durban masala. It's actually very easy to make, though it does require a little patience. All we do is toast the seeds in a cast iron pan, or a wok, until they're hot enough that the temperature measures over the boiling point of water. Then we grind them all together. After this, we mix in a lot of chili powder, some smoked paprika, some cayenne pepper for heat, and ground ginger. Then we mix it all together, and our Durban masala is ready for making bunny chow. We'll be making our bunny chow in a South African cast iron potjie, but of course any cast iron pot will work just fine. Preparing the Durban masala is probably the hardest part of this dish because all we have to do now is chop up an onion and some garlic and cut russet potatoes into large pieces. A number of recipes for bunny chow say to use russet potatoes, probably because they're the least expensive potatoes you can get. Of course, russet potatoes soften very well when they're cooked, which is why they're the potato of choice for mashed potatoes. And that's why we're cutting these potatoes into large pieces, so that when they're cooked, they'll still hold together and not simply be mashed potatoes. And once the pot is hot and ready, we add our lamb pieces and begin searing them on all sides. After the lamb has changed color, we add in the onion and the garlic and cook it until the onions are soft. Now we can add our spices, and we mix in about 3 tablespoons of the Durban masala. Along with salt and pepper to taste. And now for the vegetables, namely the chickpeas, along with a can of diced tomatoes, and then we add the potatoes. Now we add a liter of chicken broth, so the lamb is almost covered. Mix in a 1/4 cup of flour to thicken the stew. And then we cover the pot, and here I admit to making a little mistake that I caught just in time. Bunny chow is a curry stew, and yet I actually forgot to add the curry. Fortunately, this was easily fixed simply by adding lots of ground curry. And now at last, we cover the pot and simmer it for an hour. After an hour, we remove the cover and let it simmer for another ½ hour to thicken it. We need to thicken it up a little bit, and we will be ready. Finally, it's time to prepare the bread bowl. We take an unsliced loaf of bread and cut it into thirds. Then we cut out the inside and save the inside for dipping as we eat. Now we fill our bowl and top it with some fresh cilantro. And with that, we're ready to feast on some genuine Durban-style bunny chow. The additional spices gave this food a taste that was very unexpected and even exotic. This was my first time trying fenugreek, and I do have to admit it takes some getting used to. So if you're new to fenugreek, just leave it out, and you'll still have a delicious curry stew. Just don't forget the curry like I almost did. But I'll be honest and say I had no trouble at all finishing this off, and it won't be my last time using fenugreek. With or without it, bunny chow is a wonderful, easy, inexpensive, and most of all delicious dish that really deserves to be introduced here in the United States. So one evening, you may want to give this a try and introduce your family to something new. And I suspect once you've tried bunny chow, you'll find you'll be making this again and again because it's certainly worth it. Thank you for watching.